सभी स्टूडेंट्स अपना वीडियो ऑन कीजिए so that we can start. After that only I will start. Student, am I audible? I am saying please switch on your video, everyone, so that we can start your class. Nobody is listening. Huh? Very bad, बच्चों, very bad. चलिए जी हम स्टार्ट करते हैं. So we'll be starting with introduction to trigonometry. Right? We'll be starting introduction to trigonometry. Students, or trigonometric functions. Have you started this chapter? एक स्टूडेंट अपना माइक ऑन करके प्लीज टेल मी व्हाट आर द कॉन्सेप्ट्स यू हैव कवर्ड इन दिस चैप्टर. एनीवन अपना माइक ऑन करके बच्चे प्लीज बताइए कि आप इसमें से क्या क्या कर चुके हैं, ट्रिग्नोमेट्रिक फंक्शंस में क्या क्या कर चुके हैं आप लोग. बेटा देखो ऐसे तो क्लास नहीं होगी फिर. इफ यू वांट मी टू टेक द क्लास देन यू हैव टू एटलीस्ट communicate with me. You have to tell me what are the topics you have covered so that I can work accordingly. Neither you people are switching on your video, neither you are conveying anything. Okay, so we shall start today with the first concept of trigonometry. We'll understand about the concept of radian measures. Concept of radian measurement system. Right, students? So now, in the previous classes, we used to measure an angle in the degree measurement system. Now we'll understand what is a radian measurement, right? And how it is related to the degree system. Students, when we say radian, radian is another unit to measure the angles, right? So, if we take an angle theta, let's say this angle is theta. Is this clear? Or let's say we have a circle. Let's say this is a circle. of radius r, and this angle is theta. Then this arc AB, then the length of, let's say, this arc AB is L. Then this theta can be given by length of the arc upon radius, right? If the length of the arc is equal to the radius, then the radian will be, then the angle will be 1 radian, right? So this is the formula to find out the angle theta in the radian measurement system. Theta is equal to L upon R, right? Now, if we take this complete angle as theta, now let's say this complete angle as theta, right? So in that case, what will be the length of the arc? Length of the arc will be the total circumference of the circle. And what is the total circumference? 2 pi r, right? So that will be 2 pi r divided by r. So this r is cancelled. So theta becomes 2 pi radians, right? And in the degree measurement system, it is 180 degree, right? It is 180 de it is 180 degree. Now 180 degree is equal to 2 pi radians. Sorry, 180 is, it is 360. Theta is 360 degree and 2 pi equal to 360 degree, and pi comes equal to 180 degree. So pi radian is equal to 180 degree. Students are still coming in. Class was at Class was at 11:30 and students are still coming at 11:45. Right, students? So the relation between the radian measurement and degree measurement is pi radian is equal to 180 degree. Now, if you have to convert any angle from radian to degree measurement system or from degree to radian measurement system, how to do this? You have this relation. Suppose you have the angle theta is 60 degree and you have to convert this into the radian measurement. Now pi radian is equal to 180 degree. So 1 radian will be equal to 180 by pi degree measurement system. And here the value of pi will take 22 by 7 and then find the value of angle in the form of radians. If you have to convert from degree to radians, so 1 degree will be equal to pi by 180 degree, right? So these are the two conversion methods. Now, for example, if you have to convert 60 degree into radians, as we know 1 degree is equal to pi by 180. So therefore 60 degree will be equal to multiply by 16. So this comes to be pi by 3. So similarly, you can convert any angle from degree to radians, right? So some important angles, for example, it is 45 degree. It is written as pi by 4 radian. 30 degree, it is written as pi by 6. 90 degree, it is written as pi by 2, right? And 180 degree is pi, right, students? So this is a way to convert from degree to radian. Now if we have to convert from radians to degree, see how to convert this. Suppose we know that pi radians equal to 180 degree. So 1 radian is equal to 180 by pi degrees. Now let's say we have to convert 1 radian into degree. So this is 180 by pi. So put the value of pi as 22 by 7. इसको simplify किया students. So this is 630 by 11 degrees. Now see how to calculate. There is a special way to calculate this 1 radian. Now first of all divide this. 11 5 is a 55, 87. So this becomes 57, and then what you are left with? 3 by 11, this much degrees. Now every 1 degree has 60 minutes. This is written as 1 day. This is known as 60 minutes. And every 1 minute has 60 seconds, right? So we have to convert it into the minutes, then into the seconds. Now it has 57 degree 3 by 11. So what we can write, 57 degree and this 3 by 11 multiplied by 60 to convert it into minutes, right? So again the same way, this become 180 by 11. Again dividing by the long division method. So this comes out to be, this is degree. 11 ones are 11, 70, 6. So this becomes minutes. Now again 57 degree, 16 minute, then 4 by 11 convert into seconds, right? So this comes out to be 240 by 11. 16 minutes, 240 by 11. Right? So this is, so when you convert this, 22, 21, approximately 22 minutes. So 1 radian, if you convert it into degree measures, it comes out to be 57 degrees, 16 minutes, 22 second approx, right? So this way we can convert this radian measurement into degree measurement. So this is our relation between the degree system and the radian system. Next thing this in this chapter comes is the value of the higher angles, right? So students will understand how to find out the values of the angles trigonometric ratios greater than 90 degree. Now let's say students, we have this circle. We have this circle of unit radius. What do you mean by unit radius? Means radius is 1 unit. Now if you take, let's say we take 3 different angles. One is this angle, another is this, another is a complete angle. Let's say this is theta 1, this is theta 2, and let's say this is the theta 2, right? So now you drop the perpendiculars, and here it will be the same perpendicular, right? So we have 3 different angles, right? And the radius of the circle is 1 unit. Now if I take, what will be sine theta 1? What will be sine theta 1? We know that the sine is the ratio of perpendicular to the hypotenuse. Now, in this case, this is A, B, C. Let's say this is D, this is C. Sine theta 1 will be equal to BD upon OB, right? So perpendicular upon hypotenuse. If you take sine theta 2, what will be sine theta 2? Now in this case, the perpendicular is CE and hypotenuse is OC. And if we take sin theta 3, तो यहाँ पे जो है बच्चे आपका whatever is the radius, this same length will be the radius, this same length will be the hypotenuse. So this will be, now if you see carefully, denominator is same in everyone, but BD is less than CE, means as the angle theta is increasing, now you can see the theta is increasing. When theta is increasing, the value of sin theta is also increasing. बच्चे BD lesser है सबसे, so this value will be the least. This is greater than the sin theta 1, and the third one will be the maximum, that is 1. So now as the angle increases, the value of sin theta increases, right, in the first quadrant. And now since it is a ratio of, see this is the positive side of the Cartesian plane, so therefore all these values will be positive. Similarly, if you take for cos, the same example we take. If we take for cos, what will be cos theta 1? Cos theta 1 will be, this is, we have put D as 2 times. Take this as P. This will be OD upon OB cos theta 2. Cos theta 2 will be equal to OE upon OC. And cos theta 3. Now in this case, base is almost 0. So therefore, in the case of 90 degree, this will be 0 upon OP. Now what you can observe, as the angle is increasing, as this angle is increasing, the length of the base is decreasing. As the angle is increasing, the length of the base is decreasing. Therefore, the value of cos theta is decreasing.
गद्दू जी है गद्दू वाला काम सुनदिया जिन्होंने सारी चिंता की फोन का वापस किया जल्दी रात में जाके मिलने नहीं
बच्चे कौन है ये जो बोल रहा है? Can you clarify what you want to say? I have not understood what you want to say, बच्चे. Anyone? Yes. Yes, students. Anything you want to convey?
यस बेटा दमनजोत थोड़ा माइक ऑन से बेटा बोलो व्हाट हैपेंड
Anyway, बच्चे चलिए हम आगे चलते हैं. So now what you understood, as the angle is increasing, the value of cos theta is decreasing, right? So why we are doing this? When we'll draw the graphs of sin theta, cos theta, then we will be using these concepts. Now what you have understood, sin theta is increasing as the theta is increasing, but cos theta is decreasing as the theta is increasing, right? So now if we come to the tan theta is, what is tan theta? Tan theta is the ratio of sin theta to the cos theta. So means when sin is increasing but cos is decreasing, so what will happen? So it can goes both ways, right? How it varies, that we'll see later on. Now I hope you have understood this thing. That was the first quadrant. Now if we see the value of or the sign of all the trigonometric ratio, स्टूडेंट हमारे पास 6 trigonometric ratios होती हैं, sin, cos, tan, cot, secant and cosecant. Now all the trigonometric ratios are positive in the first quadrant. Why they are positive? Because the values used are on the positive side of x-axis as well as positive side of y-axis. When we move to the second quadrant, only sin theta and its reciprocal, that is cosecant theta, they are positive in the second quadrant. In the third quadrant, students, we have both x-axis and y-axis negative. So therefore, sin theta and cos theta both will be negative. But when you take sin theta upon cos theta, negative negative will cancel out, and then tan theta and its reciprocal will be positive. And in fourth quadrant, cos theta will be positive. This is clear? So first quadrant, all trigonometric ratios are positive. In second, sin and its reciprocal, that is cosecant, are positive. In the third one, tan and its reciprocal cot are positive. Fourth, cos and its reciprocal are positive. Right, students? Now we come how to find out the values of the various trigonometric ratios. Students, earlier you have done the values of the first quadrant, means up to the angle 90 degree. Now if you have to find the values greater than 90 degree, how to do this? You have to remember two rules, students. Whenever you are finding the value of any trigonometric ratio of greater than 90 or even less than 90, there will be two rules. First rule will be the whether we are taking the angle on the y-axis, right? For example, if we are taking sine of 90 plus theta, if we are taking the angle 90 plus theta. Now since this 90, where is 90? This is on the y-axis, right? When it is on the y-axis, you will change this trigonometric ratio to its complementary t ratios. Complementary t ratio. और साइन की complementary t ratio क्या होती है स्टूडेंट्स? Anyone? What is the complementary t ratio? T ratio means trigonometric ratio. Complementary trigonometric ratio is sine is cosine, that is cos. So this sine will get converted into cos, right? Now this angle 90 plus theta, here theta is an acute angle. So 90 plus theta will be lying in the second quadrant. And in second quadrant, sine is positive or negative. So the two things we have to check. One is the complementary t ratio, whether you will change to complementary t ratio or not. Another thing is the sign of the trigonometric ratio. किस trigonometric ratio को देखना है? जो साइन यहाँ पे है, जो चेंज करके बन रही है उसका नहीं, नो. We have to check the sign of the sign here in this case. Now this angle becomes in the which quadrant? Second quadrant. And second quadrant sign is positive. So therefore this will be positive cos theta. Right, students? There will be positive cos theta. When this angle 90 के place पे बच्चों, if the angle of x-axis is there, means 180 or 360, then this t ratio will not change. So I'll make you write the rules. First is the first quadrant के rules होते हैं students. This is cos theta. Now everything is positive in this. This will be sin theta. स्टूडेंट ये जल्दी से नोट कर लो आप लोग. किसी भी आपको ट्रिग्नोमेट्रिक रेशियो की वैल्यू निकालनी पड़ेगी तो आप फटाफट से इस कॉन्सेप्ट को लगा के कर सकते हो जी. 90 minus theta will be cot theta. Again two concepts. Here this angle is 90 degree, that is y axis. So trigonometric ratio is changing to its complementary. Means tan का complementary cot और cot का tan. Right? Similarly, if you have to do sine of 90 plus theta, as we have done already, again the trigonometric ratio will be changed to its complementary, that is cos, and the sign of sine in the second quadrant is positive, so there it will be positive. If it is cos, the first concept is cos will change into sine, but cos theta in the second quadrant will be negative, hence it will be negative. Similarly, tan of 90 plus theta will be minus cot theta. Cot of 90 plus theta will be minus tan theta. Secant of 90. Beta, please switch off your mics. ठीक है? No nuisance in the class. Cosecant in the second quadrant is positive, so therefore it will be positive secant theta. Right? Now we come to the theta angle. Now second quadrant के जो angle है students, one way is to find out 90 plus theta. Another way can be 180 minus theta. Suppose it is sine of 180 minus theta. What it will be? 180 is there, so trigonometric ratio will not change. It will remain sine, and it is second quadrant, so it will be positive. I'll take one example for this. Suppose we have to find the value of, let's say, sine 120 degree. Can sine 120 be written as 90 plus 30? It can also be written as 180 minus 60. It can also be written as 180 minus, right? So now in both the cases, what will be the value? It should be same. In both the cases, the value should be same. Now if you look at the sine 90 plus 30 degree, so this will become cos 30 degree, and here it will become sine 60 degree. So what is the value of sine 60 degree, students? What is the value of sine 60 degree? And the value of cos 30 degree is also. So whether you have find out using 180 minus theta or 90 plus theta, we got the same value. Have you understood? So when you will take sine of 180 minus theta, it will be sine theta. When you take cos of 180 minus theta, it is second quadrant, so it will be minus cos theta, right? Similarly, you can write for the other angles. If you take sine of 180 plus theta, now when you go for 180 plus theta, students, so 180 plus theta falls in the third quadrant. Since it is 180, so trigonometric ratio will not change. But as it moves from second to third quadrant where the sign is negative. So therefore sine 180 plus theta will change into minus sine theta, and cos of 180 plus theta, again no change in the t ratio, but the sign in the third quadrant for cos is minus. But if you go for tan theta, as we know tan theta is positive in the third quadrant, so therefore tan of 180 plus theta will be tan theta, right? And here if we have tan of 180 minus theta, so it will be minus tan theta. So you can complete the remaining one, right? So you can do the remaining one for 180 minus theta and 180 plus theta. Now another way to find out the value of third quadrant is 180 plus theta one way is, another is 270 minus theta. If it is 270 minus theta, again this angle is on the y-axis, so therefore trigonometric ratio will change. What it will change to cos theta, and since it is in the third quadrant, sine is negative in the third quadrant, this will be negative. Similarly, cos of 270 minus theta, that will be minus sine theta. Tan of 270 minus theta, this is again third quadrant, t ratio will be changed, but the sign will be positive. So it will be cot theta. Similarly, students, if you take for fourth quadrant values, this is 270 plus theta. Again 270, t ratio will change, trigonometric ratio will change to the complementary t ratio. It will be cos theta. Fourth quadrant sign is negative, hence it will be negative. Similarly, cos of 270 plus theta, so that will be, again trigonometric ratio will change to sine theta, but since cos is positive in the fourth quadrant, hence it will be positive. Tan of 270 plus theta, so this will be minus of cot theta, as cot is negative, as tan is negative in the fourth quadrant. If you move, another way of the finding the values in the fourth quadrant, that can be 360 minus theta. If we find sine of 360 minus theta, so it lies in the fourth quadrant, but here it is 360, so there will be no change in the trigonometric ratio and it will remain as sine theta, but the sign will be negative. Similarly, you can do for all the trigonometric ratios, right? Now student, I will give you some questions. Will you do it? Find the value of tan 315 degree. Please do it. Value of tan 315 degrees. Yes, कौन करके बताएगा? Tan 315 degree. Why so much time, students? Can't you write this as 360 minus 45 degree? Now 360 minus 45 degree means 360 minus theta. So fourth quadrant, it will be minus, and the value of tan 45 is 1. So answer will be minus 1. But it won't be plus, it will be minus because tan is negative in the fourth quadrant. Right, students? Is this clear? Please find the value of cosecant to 40 degree. Cosecant to 40 degree. Convert this into either 180 plus 60 or 270 minus 30. देखिए बच्चों, this will be cosecant 180 plus 60 degree. So here trigonometric ratio will not change. It will remain cosecant. But in the third quadrant, cosecant is negative. So hence it will be, yeah, very good bache. So cosecant 60 degree will be minus 2 by root 3. Who is this? Simran Jodhkor. Very good beta, बिल्कुल ठीक लिखा है आपने. Is this clear जी? So this concept is clear to all of you. This concept is clear. Now we move on to the graphs. Graphs of trigonometric functions. Now students, first graph is if you have y equal to sin x. How to draw the graph of y equal to sin x? As I told you, initially, the value of sine keeps on increasing in the first quadrant, and after a certain point, so it's like this. This is the graph of sine, students, right? This is the graph of sine. Now, this point is pi by 2. Pi by 2 matlab 90 degree. Pi is 180 degree. 3 pi by 2 is 270 degree. And 2 pi is 360 degree. So now the highest value achieved is 1 and the lowest is minus 1. If you take this in the minus angles, that also goes like this, students. So this will be same way. So it will replicate, और उसी को आप copy paste कर दो in the आप उसकी image लेते हो ना बेटा, the same way you can paste it, right? So this is the graph of the sine. Now if I have to ask you what is the domain of this function, who will tell me what is the domain? What is the domain of this function? Anyone? Please tell me what is the domain. Yes, कौन बताएगा बच्चों? Beta, what is the domain? Means the value of x. So if you can see the graph, both side of the x means आपके ग्राफ के दोनों side, it can attains any value of x. So hence its domain is R. R means all real numbers. When you say range, what will be the range of function sin x? What will be the range, students? The highest value achieved is 1, the lowest is minus 1. Hence the range will be minus 1 to 1. Is this clear? So the domain of the function is R. The range of the function is minus 1 to 1. Next, if we have to plot the graph of cos x. So the graph of cos x is almost same but a bit different. Different क्या होता है students? As we have seen, the value of cos decreases in the first quadrant. Means it start with a maximum value and it keep on decreasing. It goes like this. Right? So this is 0, pi by 2, pi, 3 pi by 2, and this is 2 pi. Similarly, you can replicate this in this side. It will also go like this. This angle will be minus pi by 2. This will be minus pi, minus 3 pi by 2, and so on it will go. Right? If I ask you the domain, what will be the domain of this function? Student, what will be the domain? कौन बताएगा जी? Nobody. हाँ जी बच्चों डाल दो, कोई मैसेज में डाल दो. Anyone please put in the message. Yes. Is there someone? बच्चे, it is same as in the case of sine. Sine के केस में सेम थी बच्चों. Here also it will be same. Domain will be R and range will be -1 to 1. Now if you go for the tan, अब ये ध्यान से समझना बच्चों ग्राफ कैसे बनते हैं. To draw for the tan, जो tan का ग्राफ जो होता है ना, it is like this. ये टच नहीं करेगा बेटा, ये यहाँ पे पाई बाय 2 है. So this goes to infinity. This is 3 pi by 2. This is pi, right? So now if you look at this graph, right, it is going up to infinity, right? But at the odd multiple of pi by 2, can you see this? At the odd multiple of pi by 2, this does not define. It's not defined. So therefore its domain is r minus 2n plus 1 pi by 2. What is the meaning of 2n plus 1? If you put where n is the natural number. If you put n as 0, this becomes pi by 2. If you put n as 1, this becomes 3 pi by 2. If you put n as 2, it becomes pi by 2. If you put n as minus 1, this becomes minus pi by 2. What is minus pi by 2? This point is minus pi by 2. So all the odd multiples of pi by 2, this function is not defined. What is the range? What is the range? Minus infinity to infinity. Because this is minus infinity and this is infinity. So this is a domain and range. Same is in the case of cot. This is y equal to tan x. Now if you go for cot, थोड़ा सा डिफरेंस होता है, जैसे साइन और कॉस में है. Now when you draw the graph of cot, sorry, it is like this. This is pi by 2. This is pi, right? So it goes like this, right? First quadrant positive, second negative, third will be positive, it will be like this. This will be 3 pi by 2. This will be 2 pi. Again, the values lies from minus infinity to plus infinity. So its domain will be all real numbers minus. Now it is not defined at 0, pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, means even multiples of pi. So what you can write? 2n pi. When you put n as 0, it will become 0. When you put n as 1, it will become, no need to put 2. It is n pi, right? Is this clear, students? So that is r minus n pi. So that will be the domain. When you go for the range is minus infinity to. This is the range for cortex. Now we move on to the secant x. What the graph of secant x looks like. Now tell me what is the value of secant 0 degree. What is the value of secant 0 degree? कौन बताएगा बेटा? Please put in the chat box the value of secant 0 degree. Yes. सिंपल है बेटा, cos का रेसिप्रोकल होता है, cos 0 degree is 1, तो secant 0 will also be 1. So let's say this is 1. So this graph is like this. This is minus 1. Here this graph will be like this. Then if you take it further, so it will be like this. It goes like this, right, students? This is 0, pi by 2, pi. Sorry. This will be pi. This is 3 pi by 2. This is 2 pi. And this is 5 pi by 2. Now, if you look at its domain, what is its domain? It is not defined at pi by 2, 3 pi by 2, 5 pi by 2. So same आ जाएगी बच्चों domain as was in the case of 10. So what was the domain in 10's case? Domain क्या आ गई बच्चों यहाँ पे R all real number minus 2n plus 1 pi by 2. And what will be the range? The range is C. If you look at this, now see, in this entire region, there is no value of secant, means इस सारे पार्ट को छोड़ के everything can be the value. So what will be the range? R minus 1 to 1. -1 to 1 के बीच की कोई वैल्यू नहीं अटेन करता secant. Apart from that, all real numbers, right? So just look carefully. This part is vacant. अगर आप देख रहे हो ये दोनों पर्पल लाइंस, ये बीच वाला पार्ट जो है वेकेंट है. So that means it does not attain any of the values in this part, right? So therefore its range will be all real number except -1 to 1. So this is the range of secant x. Now we move on to the cosecant x. Now students, what is the value of secant 0 degree, cosecant 0 degree? Sine 0 degree is 0. Cosecant is 1 upon sine. So 1 upon 0, that is infinity. Yeah, 1 by 0. Very good. So it starts with this. This is the graph of cosecant. This point will be pi by 2. This is pi, right? First and second quadrant. This is first quadrant, second. Third quadrant, it is negative. So third quadrant will be somewhere here. It is like this, right? So this value is 3 pi by 2. This value is 2 pi, right? So now, what will be the domain? What is the domain? All real number minus. It is not defined at pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi, and so on. So that will be r minus n pi. And when we say its range, the range will be same as in the case of secant x. What was the range? R minus, because this region is not covered. So therefore its range will be all real number minus 1 to 1. Is this clear, students? Any doubt in the graphs? Any doubt in the graph? चलिए क्वेश्चंस कीजिए जरा. If sin x equal to minus 3 5 and x lies in third quadrant, find the value of all other trigonometric ratios. Find the value of all other trigonometric ratios means what will be the value of cos x, tan x, cosecant x, secant x, and cot x. Please do it, students. Find the value of all other trigonometric ratios. हाँ जी student, who will tell me what is the value of cos x? बेटा ये तो आप 10th क्लास में किया करते थे. 10th क्लास में किया करते थे ना आप. Two ways you can do it. One is by drawing the triangle, right angle triangle, and using the Pythagoras theorem. You can find out the values and then according to the quadrant put the sign, right? Tan is minus 3 by 4. Cos is minus 4 by 5 is correct. But tan will be positive, right? Why? Because it is a third quadrant and third quadrant tan will be positive. Cos x will be minus 4 by 5. Tan x will be plus 3 by 4. Cot x will be 4 by 3. Right? तो secant तो यहीं से आ जाएगा रेसिप्रोकल बच्चों. That will be minus 5 by 3 and secant x will be minus 5 by. Is this clear? How we have done this? Very simple, students. आपने right angle triangle बनाया. आपको sin given था, sin x. This angle is x. This is 3. This is 5. By using the Pythagoras, you have find out the base. That will be 4. So you can find out the ratios, trigonometric ratios, right? By the basic definition and put the sign according to the quadrant. Is it clear, students? Any doubt into this? Whatever we have done, अंडरस्टैंडिंग वाला पार्ट सारा हो गया हमारा. नाउ वी आर लेफ्ट विद द trigonometric identities and the question based on that trigonometric identities. Is this clear? Yes, students, have you understood? Write in the chat box. Any doubt? You can ask me. ये किसी बच्चे ने secant -5/4 दो बार लिख दिया. Yes, secant is -5/4, but cosecant you should have written. Any doubt, बच्चों? Right, students. So we'll wind up the class today here only. So thank you very much for joining.